All right, friends. I am so glad you could join us today. For the month of August, we are exploring in the Spokane Sangha the quality of patience, how to cultivate patience. And when Luma came in today, we were talking about anger, when anger arises, and how patience is such a powerful antidote to anger, to aggression, to violence, to harshness. And so when we explore patience, we're really inviting ourselves to practice gentility, wisdom, pause. And what pause does as a sister to patience is it helps us do something new and different. And what that new and different thing is to not act out in impulsive, mindless ways, which most of us have all kinds of habit energy around. You feel uncomfortable? Boom. I'm going to respond to that discomfort habitually, impulsively, and then maybe take my words back later, or maybe try to take my actions back later, or maybe figure out how to live with the regret of my unskillful speech and action. The cultivation of patience is how can we put a little bit of time and space between our reactions and our feelings that arise so that we don't actually react on them. We can respond with more practice. And so Pema Chodron talks about patience and the cultivation of patience as this wonderful, gentle way of getting to know ourselves, getting to become more responsive to ourselves. This is not a practice of trying to not have anger, trying to not have frustration. It's simply a way of working with those afflicted mind states, those difficult feelings in a whole new way so that we do less harm to others and we do less harm to ourselves. So that is what we are working on today. And I will invite the chime to sing, and we will set the intention for our practice and have a lovely meditation. And so I encourage you all to get into a posture that feels comfortable and relaxed and supportive, and we'll begin. Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia, and I will be offering our practice today. And I'd like to begin with a sentiment of metta, loving kindness. This one reads, "May you have your day made by some surprise. May you have your day made by some surprise." The focus of our practice of patience today is a topic that is difficult and challenging. And we, as a Sangha, are going to be fearless about it. So I'd like to bring forward in the gentle shelter of patience the reality of recurrence, relapse, slips, craving. The journey of recovery, a true and authentic journey of recovery for the vast majority of people, includes recurrences, relapses, slips, cravings, wobbliness, insecurity, not knowing. The people who create a determined decision and decide never to use again alcohol or drugs, whatever their habit energy is, and are able to stay away from that are pretty rare. That is the exception to the rule. Or they have had years of trial and error, years of lessons and relearning, and then finally they reach a point where they have enough practice, enough wisdom, enough knowledge, enough self-acceptance that the decision to put down habit energy that no longer serves once and for all has a degree of ease and maybe even friendliness. The cultivation of patience and leniency toward ourselves with respect to recurrences of symptoms is not about making excuses for ourselves. It is about being honest. When we judge ourselves harshly, we are not probably being fair and honest with ourselves. We probably are in a place of distortion and inflation. On the other hand, when we are blaming our external circumstances and making excuses, we're also probably not being honest. Those represent the two ends of the extreme here, the two extreme sides. To be human is to explore both of those extremes. We all have the capacity to blame external circumstances, to make excuses for ourselves. And in some ways, there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of being human. It's simply not an authentic, real way to live one's whole human spiritual life. On the other hand, we can take so much responsibility and blame ourselves and start telling all kinds of stories about what losers we are, how incapable we are of getting it together, how flawed and defective we are as human beings. That's not to say that aspects of that might not be true. It's simply to suggest it's not the whole truth. The Buddhist practice is landing somewhere in between these extremes. And to find that middle way requires patience. Patience is a gentle gaze, a friendly curiosity, a fearless looking. When there are stressors in our lives and we feel cravings, we feel that habit energy start to rise and we just want to not feel the discomfort anymore. We're very honest with ourselves about what we're feeling and why. Patience is a pause that says, yep, there it is. I am distressed. I am uncomfortable. This doesn't feel good. I know if I took a drink, I would feel better. I also know that if I took a drink, I would feel better for only a moment and then I would feel worse for a lot longer. That's real. That's honest. What else can I do? Sometimes when we have that craving arise, we have inner critics, Mara, as the Buddha called them, that are so quick to tell us, here we go again. You can't keep it together. You always do this. Would you look at that? Wow. In this moment, I'm going to breathe and be with this craving that is so uncomfortable. And I'm going to be with these thoughts that are haunting and harsh. And with the activation of patience, I'm going to create some space between all of that. That's all my habit energy and me. Me doing something new. Me offering something gentle and skillful. Me holding my ground. Buddha said, I see you, Mara. We can say, I see you craving. I see you discomfort. I see you confusion and temptation. I see you. I am going to breathe and not act upon you. This is where, friends, the 4 foundations of mindfulness are such extraordinary companions. I mean, really think about the 4 foundations of mindfulness as 4 personas, 2 standing on either side of you, and their whole job is to support you, encourage you, love you limitlessly. It begins in the body. That's the first foundation. Notice what you're sensing in the body. Are your shoulders tense? Is your belly sour? Are you hungry? Are you having these cravings because you're actually needing some nutrition? Is your body craving a little bit of exercise and movement? Does your body need a little bit more rest? When was the last time you bathed your body and then put on really great lotions for your skin that hydrated your skin, made your skin feel really great? Take notice of the body and breathe. Breathe in and out. Your body is here to support you, encourage you, move you toward options. things other than the habitual ways you have engaged discomfort. The second mindfulness foundation is your mood and your emotions. Often when we feel uncomfortable, we're working with difficult emotions. Many of us were not taught to work with difficult emotions. In fact, many of us have had traumatizing experiences around harsh feelings. There are people who were raised in an environment where to cry or to show any upset was met with aggression, violence, harshness, humiliation. And so anytime those types of feelings arise, the reaction to ourselves is to quickly shut it down in the same manner. What's the matter with you? You should not be feeling this way. Toughen up. What's your problem? All of that. So we have to spend some time sitting with our feelings enough to unlearn the stories and thoughts associated with them. To be a whole human being is to have this miraculous range of emotion and to have the courage to feel it all. So one of your companions is your mood. Let it inform you. Let it tell you what it needs. Let it guide you to becoming a better parent to yourself, a better friend, a friend to yourself, someone who has the capacity to hold a range of feeling. To do this for yourself will extend to others. Your capacity to hold your emotional range means that you will have a capacity to hold another's. And this is a gift. The third foundation of mindfulness as a sister to patience are your thoughts. That's one of your companions. We're always thinking thoughts. What are your thoughts? Why do you believe everything you think? How about not believing everything you think? How about creating a little bit of distance between you and your thoughts and get curious about them? I wonder why I'm thinking this. Would you look at this? With some patience and curiosity, can you begin to cultivate some gentle thoughts? This is quick. This is a tricky practice because thoughts are quick. One of my quick, sneaky ones is, Julia, you idiot. Ooh, ow. Yikes. I do not want to play with you, inner voice. We don't feel motivated by that kind of language anymore. So, what am I really trying to tell myself? Well, Julia, you made this mistake that you regret and you feel embarrassed by. Can you sit with that reality? Well, yeah, of course I can. Yeah, but Julia, you made a mistake. Everyone's going to be mad at you. Everyone? That's a lot of people I'm about to disappoint. How about no one's going to be mad at me? How about that as a thought? How about I made a mistake? I'm going to own that mistake. I'm going to remedy that mistake. And I'm going to do the best I can. And if people still harbor anger toward me, how about that's their work? How about those thoughts? This leads to the fourth foundation and your fourth companion, your stories. I made a mistake, and suddenly I have created a story of about 20 or 30 people who are destined to be mad at me. I am powerful. Wow. What a distortion. Because the reality is, friends, no one's going to be more disappointed in myself than me. No one's going to hold it against me more than me. So maybe if I can start to work with my stories in gentle ways, I can model that for others, compelling people, encouraging others to soften the hard edges of their own stories. Julia, you idiot. How about, Julia, that was unskillful. What can we do differently? What can we learn from this? How can we do better next time? The four foundations of mindfulness, friends, help us be honest. They help us look at our actions, look at our thoughts, look at our stories and feelings, and hold ourselves accountable and responsible, but with a tone that is mature and kind, forgiving, open. And what this does is this generates the space for patience for others when they are unskillful. We see in them ourselves. And the patience we're cultivating for ourselves spreads out to others. What a gift. And maybe we can learn to receive the patience of others and let it inspire change within. Patience is a slow grow. Steady on, step by step, more honest, more real, more gentle as you go. Alrighty, beautiful friends. I'm going to end our practice today by sharing with you all this token of mindfulness that we have at Soul Center that we sell. And these are available on the website. They're also available here in Soul Center. This is a token of mindfulness to encourage your practice. And these are the Four Noble Truths, the bedrock of our practice. We're going to dedicate this to ourselves and to all living beings everywhere. The nature of reality is to experience discomfort in this life. The second noble truth is discomfort, suffering, misery, joy, bliss, beauty are all determined by conditions. When we understand the conditions of our experience, positive or negative, we will lessen the negative experiences and bring forward more of the positive experiences. But we are accountable to those conditions a lot of the time. When we understand those conditions, we experience harmony, which is the balance between the negative and the positive, the light and the dark. We realize that our mistakes and missteps, our errors, our regrets, everything helps inform us change. It guides us to change, and we experience a sense of harmony. This, of course, requires practice. Practice makes practice, friends, and I wish for you a wonderful day of practice and reflection and ease. We'll see you next time. Namaste.